Okay, let's talk about this book. X Factor #1. I was pretty excited for this. I have no emotional attachment to the name of X Factor. Like, I don't really care about any of the previous incarnations. I know there's a lot of fans of those books and they have their place in people's hearts, but I have no attachment to them, so I'm not going to freak out whatever the reasoning this name is changed to this for this book. I don't really care. I picked this up for a few reasons. First off, Dawn of X has been very hit or miss for me. I think more than anything, it's been misses, and I've kind of fallen off a lot of it. So finding a new #1 to jump onto, it's got some characters I'm intrigued by. I was like, yeah, I'll take the opportunity to see what this is going to be. And second off, Leah Williams, who's a writer I really appreciate and I really enjoy, so I want to see what her interpretation of this team is going to be. Okay, there is a lot about this book that reminds me why I like the X-Men. And then there's a lot about this book that reminds me why I cannot stand the X-Men. Let's start with this. The crux of this book is we take Alpha Flight members Aurora and Northstar, who I love these characters. I'm a big fan of Alpha Flight, and having them in this book really makes me happy. Northstar gets kind of this like psychic feeling that his sister has been killed, and he's like, we're going to resurrect her. So he goes to the 5 people that do all the resurrecting. And he's like, resurrect my sister, please, she's dead. And they're like, you need proof, bro, and we have a line, so can you just, like, wait in line while we do this? But he gets really pissed about it, and this is the part of the book that I really enjoyed, is, first off, you're doing something cool with a character I love. Northstar is a very fascinating character. I'm glad they're doing something really cool here with him. He could easily become the stereotyped character, you know, your gay lead character, but he is pissed off at everyone. He doesn't like the system he's working for, and he's just kind of not a big fan of the whole X-Men stuff and the Krakoa stuff, and he's just trying to figure out, just bring my sister back, okay? I don't really care whatever else you're doing, just bring her back. I also like the angle in this book, too, where it's like, our 5 people here, like Hope and Egg and everyone else, it doesn't matter, they are kind of like swamped with bringing back a lot of people. I wasn't aware there was like millions of mutants on Krakoa, and they're bringing back a lot of people. But they're also like, we need to like have proof that this person's dead, because if we bring them back and they're alive, we can't have a bunch of people running around, which makes me think, how come we can't do that? Like, you need like to have a diplomatic meeting. Why not have a couple versions of Magneto showing up? Why not? Like, what's that going to solve? It's not going to change anything, so you might as well just do it. I don't know. It doesn't make that much. It's fine, I guess. Like, I understand why they're doing it. We want one version of each person alive, so yeah, what the hell. So a pissed off Northstar goes to talk to the Blob at a bar. I'm glad we're just putting the Blob in here. He's at a bar, whatever. And there he meets Polaris, which is the other thing I really like about this book. If there's 2 people in this book I've thoroughly enjoyed, it's these 2 people. I've thoroughly enjoyed Northstar, and I thoroughly enjoyed having Polaris here. And she's just kind of like, she's kind of acting, and I don't want, this is a weird comparison, I guess, but she's kind of acting like Kitty Pryde did at the beginning of Marauders, where she's just kind of like, yeah, let's go do a thing, let's just go find out your sister, we'll get a bunch of people who aren't doing much, and we'll go look for her. And I like her a lot. She's very interestingly, she's got a thing at the end of the story here where she's talking to her father, and Eric kind of goes like, look, I don't know why you delegated it from you being the leader of this X Factor team, but why didn't you just stay leader? And she just kind of goes to him and was like, you know, Dad, I could be leader, but then again, I also don't know what my role is on this island, and it's not to be the leader of this investigation group, so I'm going to figure out what else that is. So that was kind of interesting to see. Those are the 2 highlights of this book for me. Northstar and Polaris. They are the 2 best parts of this book. Everything else, I don't really care for. I will say this. Hope Summers is interesting enough. I've always kind of liked that character, but Rachel Summers is somebody I don't really care for. She's kind of just, I don't know, she's just kind of here because we need another title character that's going to get people to buy this book, and I have no connection to Rachel Summers, so it doesn't really matter to me. She joins the team. Guy joins the team. A reason I hate comic books is Guy, because that's so stupid. It's not funny. It's not interesting. I don't like it. Then Prodigy joins. He is one of the most recently resurrected mutants, and he joins the team. He's like their cyborg. He's their really smart guy that can figure out all this data. That's cool. And the biggest complaint I have with this book, the biggest complaint I have is Daken. I hate this interpretation of Daken. I don't think it's interesting or creative. It's like you mixed Fat Cobra from Agents of Wakanda with Hercules from his ongoing book back in the day. and you made this piece of shit character. And even North Star calls him out. He's like, you are just some delusional bisexual who thinks he's better than he is. Like, you have no personality. You're just being basic and uninteresting. And yes, just because you call it out, that doesn't make it better. I hate this. I hate him so much in this book because our team goes to investigate where Aurora was staying in Vancouver. They go to this motel. And Dawkins starts to flirt with like the clerk of the hotel, and you're like, oh my god, come on, why are we doing this? I don't want to see Dawkins doing this. But then we do find out she was in a vehicle that drove off the road and she did drown, and we're trying to investigate some stuff there. They bring this information to the council, and it turns out that she was murdered by an anti-mutant hate person who has like big political power. So yes, now she's able to be bumped up to being one of the top people that can be resurrected. This is a very interesting angle, especially in the Dawn of X era when we're doing all this important stuff. If you have the ability to bring everybody back from the dead that's a mutant, you're going to want to know why they died, where that takes precedence, and like if they're alive or not. Because the idea that you need proof to see if somebody's dead, I think is very important. And I'm glad that the 5 are just like, yeah, we don't know if someone's dead, and having this X Factor investigations group could definitely help us figure that angle out. I mean, we need that shit, so let's do it. Let's get that in here, and I'm glad that they did that angle. I think it's really important and really prominent, so that was really fun to see. And it's just another one of the origins. Like, it's like the beginning of Marauders. It's like the beginning of Excalibur. It's like the beginning of Hellions. It's just like, we're building the team. Here's everyone who's going to be in the book. Here's the leader. It's North Star. Polaris is going to have some other stuff going on. Rachel's angry for some reason. Dawkins sucks. And we're building a place. We're building our own palace. And Krakoa and Polaris are working together to build a building for their base. And it's just so boring, but North Star really made it work for me. Like, that character had so much interest going on in this book that I actually liked him, and I think that was really cool. He's the reason I love this book. Polaris is good too, but North Star's probably the reason I'm going to read the next couple of issues, just because I like that character a lot, and they're doing something really interesting with him. So, X Factor number 1. The best and the worst things about X-Men, probably. So some of you will probably like it, some of you won't, and that's okay. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have fun, stay safe, good luck. Tsunami Studios.